I am here to do some shadow work with you guys. Well, shadow work for myself with you. Because if you're my tribe, well, let's face it, what I've got going on is what you've got going on. So, let's dive right into what we've got going on and what fell out the box. It says, within the shadow, sometimes you repress experiences of when you felt the safety and freedom of being your truest self. When in your life have you felt most like your truest self? What circumstances were present that allowed such freedom? And do any of those conditions exist now? Ooh, Spirit came out the box swinging. Okay. How's the lighting for you guys? I don't know what I did there. Hold on. Okay. Okay. In the shadow, sometimes you repress experiences of when you felt the safety and freedom of being your truest self. When in your life have you felt most like your truest self? What circumstances were present that allowed such freedom? And do any of those conditions exist now? Right now in my life is when I feel my truest self. I'm feeling my truest self. I am 41. I live alone. I'm single. My children are grown. I don't live in New York. That's for damn sure. You know, I live by the beach. So I feel liberated from the relationships that were holding me back and attempting to keep me constricted and caged. I freed myself. God has freed me from those circumstances. So I've never felt more free than I do right now. And in order for me to feel this way, I had to release what was no longer serving me. I had to acknowledge the pain I was inflicting upon myself by staying with people and staying in situations that were beneath me. Okay. Next. Okay, I did a reading earlier. I'm going to post that later, so I'm not going to pull that one. But it's that card is referring to your position during conflicts. Are you a mediator? Are you the one causing conflict? Are you the one trying to alleviate the situation? What role do you play in the drama and conflict in your life? Okay. We have received the relationship you have with yourself is quietly informed by the pain and hurt of the shadow. When you think of your inner dialogue, what themes come up most often? Is there a general vibe or energy that comes with these internal conversations? How do your thoughts often make you feel? The relationship you have with yourself is quietly informed by the pain and hurt of the shadow. When you think of your inner dialogue, what themes come up most often? Are you usually quick to put yourself down? Do you take the time to build yourself up? Okay. I know it's a variation of things, you know, depending on how your day is going and what you have going on. As a gentle reminder, an attitude of gratitude will alleviate so much pain. It'll shift your focus to what you do have and what you are receiving, as opposed to self-pity, self-loathing, things of that nature. Okay? Is there a general vibe or energy that comes with these internal conversations? Again, No one has the power to make us feel any type of way. Something happens and we feel some type of way. It's not that person's annoying. We are annoyed by that person. Understand? So when you move from shifting blame to accepting accountability, the shadow heals. Instantly, in that moment, healing is taking place because you're acknowledging your faults, your flaws, and you are accepting them, integrating them, learning to use them and make them a superpower. And this card came right back out, so clearly it's important. The role you embody in conflict often points to unconscious shadow material. With examination, you gain access to hidden wounds or patterns that need resolution. In navigating conflict, what role do you take on most often? Avoider, critic, mediator, or something else entirely? How might this role be informed by early life experiences? So we have received, and I'm going to read this in its totality. With a shadow, sometimes you repress experiences of when you felt the safety and freedom of being truest self. The relationship you have with yourself is quietly informed by the pain and hurt of the shadow. The role you embody in conflict points to unconscious shadow material. With examination, you gain access to hidden wounds or patterns that need resolution. How are you talking to yourself? What is your relationship with you like in this moment? Are you loving yourself? Are you appreciating yourself? Are you making yourself feel safe? What happened in your early formative years that have designed how you navigate confrontation with yourself and others? What happened? It doesn't matter what happened, it's over. You're free. You're free. You are free, honey. You made it. You made it. You became your own superhero. So be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Okay? Regression is an unconscious defense mechanism used to protect yourself from difficult feelings. It manifests as age-inappropriate behavior. For example, an adult stomping their feet during an argument or hiding when confronted. When have you displayed age-inappropriate behavior as an adult? What shadow material might this reaction reveal for you? When have you displayed age-inappropriate behavior as an adult? Let's see. If I'm honest with myself, a few weeks back, I got into an argument with one of my younger sisters because she's just, she's a drama mongler. And I found myself just cursing her ass the fuck out and telling her the worst of the worst, you know? Inappropriate, yes. Was I triggered? Absolutely. Why? Because I was minding my business and someone that I actually love, took it upon herself to get drunk or get high or whatever the case is, link up with someone with mental illness, to co-sign her behavior, and then went on the attack. And so I did the mature thing, a little while later, forgive her and block her and all of that. But, in the moment I was extremely triggered because, she's just one of those people that'll start a problem but won't finish a problem. And then when you finish the problem, you're the bad guy. I'm all for being the bad guy when it comes to this bitch. Stay the fuck out of my life or I'm gonna fuck you up. So, inappropriate? Probably. But the reality is, I've done my part to remove myself, and if you insist on coming for me, this is how I'm going to handle this. Okay? So is it a shadow? Yes. Am I working on it? Yes. Is this going to resolve itself overnight? If she never tries me, absolutely. Okay. What shadow material might this reaction reveal for you? Honestly, it reveals that I still let someone who doesn't compare to me still get under my skin. And I think I allow her to do it because that's my little sister and I want to love her, I want to protect her, and I want the best for her. And knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt, because she's proven it time and time again that she doesn't respect me, that's bothersome. You know, if you're not going to respect me, the least you can do is not disrespect me, but you insist on disrespecting me. So now I wouldn't say that's age inappropriate behavior. I'd say that for her in her 30s to behave the way she's doing, that's age inappropriate. And me in my 40s, you know, handing you your own ass is just what you asked for. You insist on acting like a child, so I'm going to handle you like a disobedient child. I got the belt, you can get it too. So, as you acknowledge beliefs that may be causing anxiety or fear, you begin to create space for fuller exploration and maybe even integration of the shadow. What thoughts or beliefs have you long held but been afraid of confronting? What might you risk by exploring those beliefs further? What beliefs or thoughts have you held but been afraid of confronting? I have a hard time letting go of people. And not out of fear that I'll be by myself, because I do best without a partner or without a circle of people. It's the idea that I spent my entire life loving people who know that I love them, and they every step of the way have shown me they don't love me back. And I felt that if I gave up on them or I removed myself, I was wrong, because I should be like Christ and I should have this attitude of unconditional love and forgiveness and mercy. And having those feelings, I have to understand that Christ had boundaries and he knew when to draw the line. So this is about discernment. I don't have to feel bad anymore for the way I have felt before. Those situations remain the same, but I am not the same. So I don't have to respond in the same way. However, again, and this goes for anyone, I choose to remove myself from drama and chaos. If you bring it to me, my element is air. Just think about that, okay? Growing up, as you receive social feedback about what is appropriate or not, you form a schema, a worldview about your sexuality. This might include denial or minimization of certain fantasies. What messages have you received about sexual intimacy and desire? What beliefs, interests, or fantasies have you shied away from? I was just having this conversation with a friend earlier. So I did a live, and I'm wearing this really pretty dress under here, a corset dress. And it's very open in the front, right? There's cleavage, there's a view. And I did the live, and it wasn't until someone mentioned it to me. It was supposed to be a compliment, but it kind of wasn't. It was a backhanded compliment, so really an insult, okay? And so I called up a friend and I was like, hey, you know, I'm wearing this and I felt great until something was brought to my attention, and now I see what they see. Hold on, how can I protect myself, and how can I cover up in a way where I'm still really excited about my outfit, but I'm not so much on display and it takes away from my face and what I'm saying? And I came up with this little number here. So, yeah. Feeling really pretty. without all of the cleavage and stuff on display. And I felt great, before, just showing what I have, but I didn't realize that that's not really a look that people are used to, and it's not a look that I'm used to giving. So just caught me off guard. It caught everyone else off guard, and I said, you know what? Maybe that's a little too much, too fast. Let me just enjoy what I'm working with. Okay, I have a great wardrobe. And so I don't mind being on display, putting myself on display, but there's a time and a place for everything, and today that wasn't my agenda. I just wanted to feel pretty and look good, and I did that. Just I was receiving the kind of attention that I wasn't looking for. So I feel a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. That works for me, Okay. Personal narratives represent stories you have of yourself. These narratives are often created by impactful life experiences from the past. What is one story you hold of yourself? Have you considered the possibility that story could be skewed in some way? How could this new awareness change your story moving forward? Oh, my entire life I've had people try to tell me who I am. It never worked in their favor. You can't tell me who I am when I'm constantly recreating myself on a daily basis. Don't you look silly? So, personal narratives. What is one story I hold of myself? I'm a badass, and no one's gonna change that. Okay? Have you considered the possibility that story could be skewed in some way? Absolutely not. I'm a badass. I'm a God's passenger princess. Okay? I know this, and no one else is gonna change my mind. How could this new awareness change your story moving forward? With this awareness that is just being God, I don't have to focus about anything else outside of my relationship with God. As long as I'm trying to impress my Father and my Mother and the Holy Spirit, I don't have to worry about the rest of you. And that's what it was, I'm not keeping myself small anymore just because you can't handle it. Confirmation. You can't handle it. Too bad. Okay? The ego and shadow exist in tandem. The ego screams of personality, while the shadow retreats in true opposite fashion. How do you consciously describe yourself and your personality? I am a child of God. I am a daughter of Yahweh and Yeshua. I come from of strong women, the divine feminine. I am not allowing somebody else to label me, describe me, or define me, or design me. Okay? So how do I consciously describe myself and my personality? I am a very loving person. I'm outspoken. I'm opinionated. But my heart is always in the right place. And I do this because I love you guys and I love myself, and I want us to make the most of the time and the experiences that we have together. Okay. What labels, adjectives, or roles feel core or pervasive to you? How you define yourself is entirely up to you. I define myself as an interdimensional daughter of God. What opposites could be true within your shadow self? Well, the saying goes, as within, so without, as above, so below, as nice as I am. The exact opposite. I'm nice, I'm nice, I'm nice, I'm nice, I'm nice, I'm loving. And then you push me too far. And now I have to reflect back to you what you've been giving to me. But I have to do it on a scale that really allows you to see yourself through my eyes. Okay. And finally, disappointment is a natural and painful part of life. Sometimes it is so painful that it can be hidden within the shadow. What is a disappointment, no matter how big or small, that you can recall from childhood? What happened and what did you learn then about managing disappointment, desire, and grief? A disappointment from childhood. The people who were supposed to protect me were the ones abusing me. And so I had to learn to protect and take care of myself. I became my own superhero at the age of 12. Look at me now. You know, I haven't allowed my childhood experiences and what happened in my 20s and my 30s to destroy my heart. No. Oh, I used all that pain and that grief and that resentment to rebuild myself as God intended. Okay. I'll do this final card and then move on to the messages of life. Okay. Many people struggle with finding work-life balance. While limited time is a major challenge, there are also competing shadow motivations that make finding balance difficult for most. What are your biggest challenges in finding work-life balance? What are the most possible internal and value-driven conflicts you've yet to reconcile? It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to not drive yourself into an early grave. Change your relationship with money. And your relationship with money will change. When you know it, you'll realize you won't have to hustle and bustle and do all of that extra stuff. The universe and God will provide because you're doing the inner work and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for God. Okay. And for yourself. For the betterment of everyone. Now, we had a bunch of those shadow cards, so I'm going to get just as many of the messages of life, because around here we don't tear something down without building it back up. So return to the inner temple, inner power, unconditional love, letting go, openness, attaining peace, awareness, finally, application. You know what? I'm going to take appreciation and forgiveness also. Okay. Return to the temple. Today I rediscover my inner self in sacred silence. This is the inner temple in which I am able to calmly study the life lessons God has provided me. Here I regain my sense of tranquility. I retrieve my trust in the universe. Bathed in the light of my inner temple, I now remember the value of each and every step of my life. Today, I choose to see myself as significant. I acknowledge my true strength. I remain steadfast in the face of adversity. If I stumble, I pick myself up, knowing that I am filled with the power of the universe. I accept and appreciate myself in every way. I contain the most precious treasures of this world within me. The universe shines through me. Today, I choose to see the light in everyone. I seek the divine in each being and accept others as they are. I bring compassion to all my brothers and sisters of the light. I offer unconditional love to everyone I meet. I join my soul with theirs so that we may grow together in universal love. Today, remembering that God is within and around me, I release myself to God's hands and regain my inner peace. I know God is providing me that which is most beneficial for my soul. I know that God is sending angels to help me face any difficulties that arise. I go into God's will, knowing the best is yet to come. I know that when one door closes, another opens. Today I trust the universe. I trust myself and I trust life. No matter what has gone before, I have faith that something better is on its way. My willingness to release the past prepares me to accept many new opportunities. God opens before me. Today I turn within to find the source of my experiences. Therefore, I find the peace that comes from seeking truth. I understand that the riches I discover within myself have a greater value than all the wealth of the outside world. Step by step, I continue my spiritual quest. Little by little, I free myself, rising ever higher and attaining true inner peace. I open my consciousness to my true self. I understand that I am here to grow, to free myself from conflict, and to discover who I really am. Today, I release illusion and the limitations of the material world in order to alleviate my being towards the eternal light. I grow stronger and stronger as I explore the wonderful being that I am. Today, I apply all that I have learned during my spiritual quest. I practice love in my daily life. I allow my inner light to lift my thoughts. As I do so, the laws of universal love take root in my life. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. As I direct my thoughts towards all that is wonderful in my world, my troubles and worries lighten. With a full heart, I appreciate all that I have. Today, I accept what is as it is and choose to be satisfied. I express my loving thanks to the universe for the wealth that is mine. Today, I bless each soul I perceive to have hurt me. I release them to their own greater good. I can now see that my past provides me with lessons that help me live more fully in the present. I no longer struggle with what has been said and done. I am grateful for every experience that has brought me here. I fill myself with a love that is pure and free. And I do believe that those affirmations covered all of the shadow prompts that we had. Did it not? It covers forgiveness, love of the self, all of that good stuff. Your relationship with money and God. Yes, yes, yes. And before I let you go, a card or two from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Okay. We have trust yourself. What do you feel? Follow your own rhythm. All of this it pretty much sums up the entire shadow work session, does it not? Even our messages of life affirmations, okay? But as a final message to leave you with love, light, and hope, you are growing. You really are. And you shall fully bloom. Don't doubt it. Consider the significance of what is happening when the seed is still unbroken in the ground. Beneath the visible surface, it is summoning all the energy, power, and strength it needs to push above the top. Start again. You are growing. You really are. And you shall fully bloom. Don't doubt it. Consider the significance of what is happening when the seed is still unbroken in the ground. Beneath the visible surface, it is summoning all the energy, power, and strength it needs to push above the topsoil and burst forth into the light. That hidden phase is essential for anything good to happen later on. This absence of visibility is not the absence of activity. Many powerful processes are happening within. At the blessed moment, the manifestation will occur and grace shall be witnessed in full effect. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, you need to make your own decision. Any choice will stimulate progress. If a better option comes into view later, then you can adjust your course. There is rarely a perfect choice to be made. Just some choices that feel more heart-honoring than others. Move forward with faith that you are figuring things out as you go. You don't need to know how it is all going to work out. When you set your intention for it, any choice you make wholeheartedly will be the trigger through which love's magic will enter your life. Deep within, you are moved by a powerful and sacred rhythm. You must trust in your own sense of timing. Your fruition cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is a time to burst forth. Apply yourself wholeheartedly, but do not push for something to happen before it's time. Cultivate certainty that you cannot miss what you are destined for. Do all that you can and then surrender again and again. There will be an unmissable, bone-deep, recognizable moment when your time has come. You will bloom beautifully. Such is the grace intended for you. Such is the grace intended for you. So, there you have it. You are blooming in divine timing, not your own timing. With that being said, remember how you speak to yourself. The way you speak to yourself is the way the universe and your external atmosphere will respond. Okay? So. No need for. We did a lot of work. So. I'm proud of you. God is proud of you, and you should be proud of you too. You are not who you were, and you are not where you were. So give yourself more credit. Be grateful for yourself, for the universe, for God and all of heaven, and get ready for more. I love you guys. Bye.